Obviously, the credibility of a traditional house. You get their professional editors, designers, the distribution. The advances are not as large as they used to be. For a first-time author, it's very difficult, and I think you've heard to get used to the word no. But don't stop trying. Now, marketing, they do have a marketing team and publicists, but one of the team members, one of our team is, and we put together a team of editors and designers. My lead editor, Bridget Boland, was traditionally published by Simon & Schuster. Her first novel was The Doula. She is a doula, but it's a fiction story. And she had about 3 months of working with a publicist. And her book didn't show the numbers that it required for a traditional house to continue to put money back into it. So you have a certain window. They do give you support, but you have a certain window. And it really falls, and if you've been to any other conferences, I know you've heard this, falls on the author to create your platform and continue your ongoing marketing. So don't think that just because you get a traditional house, it's like, ooh, now I don't have to do marketing because they'll do it. As a hybrid imprint, we partner with our authors, and we share the costs and we share the rewards. So we do a lot of co-op. And we also have the resources to make sure that you're getting the quality that you need in everything that you do. So my background is marketing and PR, so we really focus on that. If you don't have a platform when you're getting started, then we help you create that. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And we also, of course, have a marketing session. So some of the downsides to traditional publishing. You do relinquish all of your rights for a certain time period. You really need an attorney to look over that contract. The royalties are smaller, and they own your work for a certain amount of time. They have the creative rights. I know so many authors who've been published traditionally, and they're not really happy with their book cover. Bridget's book, actually, she's just gotten the rights back to it, and she had a great idea for a cover, a great concept, and she presented it to Simon & Schuster, and they said, well, thank you, Bridget, that's lovely, but here's your cover. So we're going to republish it under our imprint, and Bridget will get to use the cover that she wants. So the title, the editing, and the cover design, they have the creative control over that. Now, for me, the biggest thing is the time to market is 12 to 18 months. Well, especially for nonfiction books, if you have something important to say, do you really want to wait 2 years before you see your book in print? So that's a big downside. Self-publishing or indie, you get more money per book, you retain your rights, quick time to market, 3 months or less. You can control all of the creative side of your book, the content, title, interior, and cover design, and it's a really powerful marketing tool. Now, also, you can use this, and there are so many stories of people being, now because of the way the industry has changed, people being self-published and getting picked up by a traditional publisher. One of our partners, one of my other editors and book designers, a gentleman named Brian Moreland, he is a horror author, very, very scary stuff, so it's appropriate on Halloween that I'm talking about Brian. If you like scary reads, write his name down, Brian Moreland, MORELAND.com. We helped him about 7 years ago, actually, when I was just doing marketing and PR and working with a few authors. We helped him with his first novel called Shadows in the Mist, and he self-published, and we did some marketing, got a little play. He eventually got picked up by Penguin, and he also sold German rights because the story is set in Germany. And He then got picked up by Sam Hain Publishing, and he's on his 5th novel now. So, and there are so many stories of authors these days starting with self-publishing, building a platform, pretty critical, and then getting picked up, if that's what you want to do. And again, it goes back to your goals as an author and the rest of your life, you know, what you really want to focus on. Now, the downside is that it takes time and money. It's a huge learning curve to figure out how this whole thing works, and that's how my business was created. We stepped in because there were so many authors. I went to school with some friends of mine who are now published, and so we saw a need to help people navigate the different paths to publishing and publish their own books. So there's this huge learning curve. You have to find the right designers, you have to find the right editors, and it also costs money. There's less credibility, and then you have your own marketing costs, which you would have anyway. Now with a publisher, you get a little bit of support in that. And with self-publishing, your reviews and awards are very limited. They have to cut it off somewhere because we all get so many submissions. So when it says self-published, a lot of times that's one of the ways that they call. So in addition to that, if you are strictly self-published, and there aren't, and I'll go into some little tricks, but it's very difficult to get in bookstores, so your distribution is limited. How many, and we do have some published authors in the room, how many of you are in bookstores right now? Wonderful, okay. And were you traditionally published, self-published? How many were self-published?
Both.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, that's great. In the Q&A, maybe you guys can enlighten us as well. So now, because of technology, a lot of new hybrid publishing houses have popped up. Mine is one. She Writes Press is another one you may have heard of. And it's really an author and publisher partnership. We share the cost and the risk. You get more money per book. The royalties are much larger. In my case, and I generally share 30 to 50% of the royalties. You can secure professional reviews because we are a traditional house. We're just small. Quicker time to market, and because we're small, we're very flexible. If there's something happening in the market and your book needs to come out now, then we can do that. And your distribution, because it is more traditionally published, you have more access to bookstores. I do, with all of my authors, even though Barnes & Noble may not be actually stocking it at this point, not that they won't in the future, but they will generally always, if you are in their system, and the only thing that it takes to be in their system is to publish the correct way, and to click that little button that says returnable, it's very important, then you can get into the Barnes & Noble system. You can call up the community relations director at each Barnes & Noble and say, you might have a publicist, that's always helpful. Just hire somebody and have them say that they're your publicist. So you call them up and say, my client is doing a book tour, and we'd like to have a book signing at your store. And if you have a platform and you have an email list and you can drive traffic to their bookstore, then they're going to really appreciate that, and they'll let you come in. So we always do a Barnes & Noble book signing. It looks great. It gives you a little bit of visibility, but they're not huge. If you have your own list, that's the best way to drive traffic to those book signings. So with hybrid publishing, you also have more creative control. We work hand in hand with our authors. We put together a team, a creative team that we feel fits your story, your personality, and together we put the best product out there that we can. You don't have to vet a lot of different service providers. It's one-stop shopping, and again, it's a powerful marketing tool. Now, it does require some time and money. You will have to look at a contract. Ours are very simple. You do have to invest in some of the professional services, and again, you're always going to have to pay for marketing. And a little bit smaller, you know, we're not a big house, we're not a Simon & Schuster, but that does not mean that you can't be successful. And of course, you're going to see your book a lot soon. So there have been a lot of changes, mergers of the big houses, a lot of small press, a lot of hybrid publishers have been popping up, which is why we're here, why I'm here. Has anybody published with any of the bottom three, Simon & Schuster's, Archway, Balboa, or Westbow Press? Okay. A lot of publishing service providers have popped up. A lot of them are under Author Solutions umbrella. Thank you. They're hard. They are basically a sales team, okay? And what's really sad to me is that the big houses should know better. Simon & Schuster and Hay House, a couple of my authors were published through Balboa, and you pay about $2,000 and you're like, hey, I've got a book. But it's not the best editing, it's not the best design, and then they upsell you on everything. So they want to get you in the door, they own the rights to your book, your content for a couple of years. You do not get your original files. Always get your own files if you're paying for them. And then they just continually call you. I have tested this myself. I've now gotten about 4 phone calls from Westbow Press because I told them, I filled out their little form. I want to see how many people call me and what they said. So it's just a sales machine.